It was a cold night in a quiet town, the stars were shining, and everything felt normal, but then a loud boom shook the sky. People ran outside and looked up. A bright light was falling from the sky, fast and hot like fire. It crashed into the nearby forest with a loud blast. Animals screamed and ran. Lights in the town flickered, then died. Everyone was afraid. People locked their doors, turned off their lights, and prayed it wasn't the end. But one person did not run. His name was Ray. A young man in his 20s, he had always been curious about the stars, while others hid. Ray grabbed a flashlight and walked toward the forest. Smoke filled the air as he reached the crash site. Trees were burning, and the ground was broken. In the center of it all was a black alien ship, smooth and round like a giant egg, was glowing with blue light, and strange symbols moved across its surface. Ray took a deep breath and walked closer. The ship opened with a loud hiss, steam poured out, and something stepped forward. She was tall. Taller than any human woman, her skin was silver blue, and her eyes glowed like stars. Wore strange armor that shimmered like glass, long white. Hair floated behind her. As if moved by an invisible wind, she looked around slowly, then locked eyes with Ray. He didn't move, didn't scream, didn't run. For a long second there was only silence. Then she spoke, her voice calm but strong. Everyone is afraid. Of me, but why aren't you afraid of me, human? Ray tilted his head. Surprised, he felt no fear. Only wonder. I don't know, he said. Maybe because you don't look like a monster. Her eyes narrowed. No human has ever looked at me like that, she said. They all scream or shoot or run. Ray stepped closer, slowly. I'm not like them, he said. I want to know who you are. She watched him carefully. You are strange, she said. Your heart is calm, but your mind is full of questions. Ray nodded. I want to learn, he said. Why are you here? She looked up at the sky, then back at him. My name is Vera, she said. I come from a world far away. I was not supposed to land here, but now that I am here, I must make a choice. Ray frowned. A choice? He asked. What kind of choice? Before she could answer, a strange sound echoed from her ship. A red light flashed on her wrist. She looked at it with fear. They found me, she whispered. Who found you? Ray asked. My people, she said. They will kill anything that helps me. Ray's eyes widened. Then we should run, he said. She looked at him with surprise. You want to help me? She asked. Even after knowing what I am, Ray nodded without thinking. You don't seem evil to me. He said, You crashed. You're lost. You need help. Vera stepped forward. And for the first time, she smiled. It was small and sad, but real. You are not like other humans, she said. Maybe. That is why I came here suddenly. The ground shook again. A bright beam of light appeared above the trees. Another ship, bigger and louder, hovered in the sky. It was looking for her. Vera turned to Ray. We have to go, she said. If they catch me, Earth will suffer. Ray didn't ask more. He simply grabbed her hand. Then let's go, he said. They ran into the forest, away from the smoke and fire. The second ship followed. Scanning the area with red lights, Vera touched a device on her wrist and opened a portal between two trees. Through here, she said. Ray didn't hesitate. They jumped through. Just as a laser hit the ground where they stood a second before, the portal closed behind them. Silence returned to the forest. But the chase had just begun, far above Earth. Alien eyes watched. The hunt was on, and this human, this strange, fearless human had just become a part of something much bigger than he could imagine. Asterisk darkness. That was the first thing Ray felt. Not fear, not pain, not even time, just deep. Endless darkness, like floating in space, and then light, a soft glow touched his eyes, warm and green like sunlight through leaves. He opened his eyes slowly, but this wasn't Earth. It looked like a forest, but not any forest he had ever seen. The trees were tall and silver, the sky was violet, and the air shimmered like heat. Strange creatures moved in the distance, glowing, slow, watching. Ray sat up, confused. Where was the crash, the fire, the second ship? Where was Vera? I see. You're awake, a voice said behind him. He turned quickly, ready to fight. But it was Vera standing calmly with her arms crossed. "Where are we?" he asked. "This is not Earth." "No," she said. "This is between worlds, Ray." Blinked. "What does that mean?" Vera walked toward him, her feet leaving no marks on the glowing grass. "This is a safe zone," she said. "A pocket of space hidden from my people. Only I can open it, but it doesn't last long." Ray stood up, looking around in awe. Everything felt soft, quiet, too perfect, like a dream just before waking. "So we're hiding," he said. "Yes," she answered. "For now." Ray noticed something. She looked tired, not just physically, but heavy. Like she was carrying a world on her shoulders. "You're not just running, are you?" he said. "You're escaping something bigger." Vera sat on a rock and looked at him carefully. "You are more observant than I thought," she said. "I broke a law." "The biggest law of my kind." Ray sat across from her, listening. "What law?" "Mercy," she said simply. "I was sent to destroy your planet. But when I studied humans, I refused." Ray's breath caught in his throat. "You were supposed to kill us." "Yes," she said without emotion, "but I didn't, and now I'm a traitor." The strange forest rustled with wind, though no wind blew. Time felt slower here, but Ray's heart beat fast. "So now they want you dead," he said. "And I helped you? Does that make me a traitor too?" She looked at him for a long time. "You're not important enough to them," she said. Yet Ray didn't know if he should feel insulted or relieved. "But you saved Earth," he said. "They should thank you." "They won't," she replied to them. "Earth is just another rock with noise, a resource, nothing more." Ray looked down at the glowing grass. He felt small but also angry. Humans are more than noise. He said, "We love, we fight, we create." Vera watched him silently, and for the first time, her voice softened. "That's what made me stop," she said. "You reminded me of something we lost." A low hum started in the air. Vera stood up quickly, checking her wrist device. "They've tracked the energy signal," she said. "This place is about to collapse." Ray stood too, ready. "Then where do we go?" She tapped her device, and another portal opened in the air. "Somewhere they won't expect. Somewhere only you can take me." "Where?" he asked, confused. "Your home," she said. "Your real home. The one hidden even from your own people." Ray hesitated. "What do you mean?" She smiled slightly. "You're not just brave, Ray," she said. "You're connected to something much deeper than you know." The forest began to crack, trees turning to glass, sky turning black.
Oh.
Ray didn't understand, but something inside him said go. He grabbed her hand again. "All right, I'll take you there." They stepped into the portal, the world behind them shattered like glass, and ahead of them a forgotten truth waited to be found. Silence. Heavy, strange silence. Not the quiet of peace, but the silence before something terrible begins. Ray opened his eyes slowly. The portal had closed behind him and Vera, but something felt wrong. They were no longer in the glowing forest. Or on Earth. This new place was darker, colder, and full of whispering sounds. It looked like a ruined building, part alien, part ancient. The walls were covered in lights that blinked like eyes. Ray stepped forward, heart pounding. "Where are we now?" he asked. "This is a forgotten station," Vera said. "Old tech, older than my people. No one comes here anymore. We're safe for a moment." Ray touched one of the walls. It was warm and pulsing like a heartbeat. The whole place felt alive. "I don't like it here," he said quietly. "Shh, you're not supposed to," Vera replied. She was already scanning the room with her wrist device. Her silver blue eyes were sharper now, more alert. "They will find us soon," she said. "They always do." Ray looked at her. "You said they want you dead," he said. "But why follow you this far? You already left the mission." Vera stopped, then turned to face him. "It's not just about the mission anymore," she said. "It's about the lie I broke." "What lie?" Ray asked. "The lie that we are gods and humans are insects," she said coldly. "If I show them that one human is different, system falls." Ray swallowed hard. "So, it's about me too?" Vera nodded slowly. "Yes. Ray, you are the problem now." Before Ray could answer, the station lights turned red. A loud alarm echoed from the walls. Vera cursed in her own language. Sharp and fast, they found us faster than I expected. Ray looked around. No weapons. No soldiers. No escape. But Vera smiled. Wrong, she said. You forgot what kind of woman I am. She touched her wrist device, and the walls began to shift. A hidden door opened, revealing a narrow tunnel with glowing panels. This way, she said, already running. Ray followed without thinking. The tunnel bent and twisted like a maze. Behind them, a mechanical roar echoed. Something was coming, something not human. What is that? Ray asked as they ran. A hunter drone, Vera said, fast, deadly. And always angry? Ray didn't need more explanation. They ran faster, turning corner after corner.
Ow!
The lights above them flickered and the tunnel shook. Exit is ahead, Vera said. But just then, a panel exploded beside them from the smoke. A black machine crawled out, 6 legs, red eyes, sharp claws. It looked like a mix between a spider and a soldier. Ray froze. The drone stared straight at him. Ignoring Vera, why is it looking at me? He whispered. Because now, you are the target, she said. Run. Ray turned and sprinted. The drone screamed and followed. Fast and wild, Vera fired a blue pulse at its hit, slowed down, but didn't stop. You can't outrun it, she shouted. We need a trap, Ray. Scanned the walls, then he saw a tan energy pipe glowing near the ceiling. If I can break that pipe when it's under it. He thought. He jumped onto a ledge, ignoring the heat and pain. The drone charged below him. Chasing Vera, Ray kicked the pipe as hard as he could. It cracked, then burst. A surge of energy shot down like lightning. It hit the drone and sparked. Violently, the machine shook, screamed, and exploded into pieces. Smoke filled the tunnel. Vera turned and looked at Ray. Surprised. That was reckless, she said, but clever. Ray dropped down. Panting. I learned fast, he said. Thought humans were just noise. Vera didn't smile this time. No, she said. You were something else entirely. They exited the tunnel and reached an old landing pad. A small ship waited. They're hidden, dusty, but working. This was my escape plan, Vera said. I never thought I'd use it with a human. They climbed in quickly as the ship lifted. Into the air, Vera looked back at the broken station. They will send more, she said, stronger ones. Ray sat in the co-pilot seat. Then we better stay ahead, he said. Vera looked at him again, a human who ran toward danger, not away. A human who outsmarted her own technology. She didn't say it out loud, but in her heart. A new feeling was growing, fear not of Ray but of what he might become. Asterisk rain, heavy, slow, silver rain falling not on Earth but on a strange red moon that circled a dead planet. The ship hovered quietly above the rocky ground. Hidden behind a curtain of storms, Ray sat inside the small cabin, staring out the window. He had never seen a place so silent, so cold, so broken. Vera stood beside the control panel, not speaking. She had not said a word since they left the station. Her armor was cracked, her shoulders tense, her eyes darker than before. Finally, Ray broke the silence. Why did we come here, Vera? Did not answer. She simply walked to a locked chamber at the back of the ship. She pressed her hand to it, and the door slid open with a soft hum. Inside were strange artifacts, holograms, weapons, a faded photo. Ray followed slowly. Is this your past? He asked. She nodded, then pointed to the photo. It showed her standing, tall beside a group of other alien soldiers. They all wore the same armor, glowing with pride. We were the elite, she said, chosen from birth, trained without emotion. We were not born to love or question. We were born to conquer. Ray looked at her, unsure what to say. You were a warrior, he said. No, she said sharply. I was a weapon. She walked to a glass cube in the center of the room, inside. Iton orb pulsed with soft blue light. This, she said, is called a core trigger. It can erase a planet in 5 minutes. Ray froze. You brought that here? I didn't just bring it, she said, turning to face him. I was the one sent to use it on Earth. The silence between them grew heavy. Ray looked at her, shocked. You were going to destroy Earth? Yes, she said calmly. But then, I saw your world, the chaos, the music, the struggle, the art. You fight each other, but you also fight for each other. Ray clenched his fists, and that made you stop. Vera nodded. A world reminded me of what we lost long ago. People gave up feeling to gain control, but humans still feel everything: joy, fear, hope. Ray walked up to the cube, staring at the pulsing orb. Is it still armed? He asked. No, she said, but if they catch me, they'll reactivate it. That's why I brought it, to keep it away from them. Ray turned to her, his voice low. And now I'm part of this. A human standing between your people and a weapon. You are more than that, she said. There's something inside you I can't explain. You're not like the others? Ray looked confused. What do you mean? Vera hesitated, then pointed to a device on her wrist. This scans brain patterns, she said, when I first met you. I scanned yours out of instinct, Ray raised. An eyebrow. You scanned me? Yes, she said, but your brainwaves didn't match Earth humans. They were older, deeper, like a frequency I've only seen in ancient data. Ray stepped back. What are you saying? I don't know yet, she said, but you may not be just a normal human. You may be something. Forgotten. Suddenly, the ship shook. Warning lights flashed. Vera ran to the control panel, her face serious. They found us again, she said. But this time, it's not a drone. Ray looked at the screen. An alien warship hovered above the moon, black and massive. It was blocking their path, charging weapons. What do we do? Ray asked. Vera looked at him, then back at the orb. We have two choices, she said. Run and hope we make it, or fight and risk everything. Ray didn't speak for a moment. Then he walked toward the pilot's seat. Then let's fight, he said. You said I wasn't just a normal human. Let's find out what that really means. Vera stared at him, surprised, but something in her heart shifted. Not fear, not doubt, but hope. She powered up the engines. The small ship lifted into the storm, and behind them, the glowing blue orb pulsed once more, a reminder of what they carried and what they must protect. Time began to move differently. Every second felt louder, heavier, faster. As if the universe itself had started a countdown, the ship shook violently as it escaped the alien warship. Ray sat in the co-pilot seat, gripping the edge tightly. Vera's fingers moved fast across the control panel. Her eyes focused, her voice combined inside. She was calculating 1,000,000 threats at once. We only have minutes before they send another strike team, she said. Ray looked at her. What if? They don't need to send one. She turned her head. What do you mean? Ray pointed to the back of the ship. Your Betha, core trigger. It's pulsing faster than before. Vera's eyes widened. She rushed to the chamber, her boots echoing against the metal floor. The orb sat in its glass cube, but now it wasn't calm. It was glowing brighter, spinning slowly and releasing soft pulses. She tapped her wrist device. Scanning it quickly. No, she whispered. It's waking up. Ray stepped beside her. You said it was deactivated. I did deactivate it, she said, but it must have received a signal. My people there trying to turn it on from a distance. A small screen on her arm flashed a number. It was a timer. Hours. 59 minutes and 53 seconds. You've got to be kidding me, Ray said. We have 1 hour until it explodes. Not explodes, Vera said. Erases it doesn't blow up Earth. It removes it, atom by atom. Ray stepped back. Feeling cold all over. What can we do? I need to reach the core's programming chamber, she said, but I can't open it without a second pattern. What kind of pattern? A living frequency, she said. Another mind one the system trusts. Ray stared at the orb. He didn't understand most of what she said, but something inside him reacted. The orb felt familiar, too familiar. Vera looked at him. When I scanned you, I saw a signal in your mind, she said. Something ancient, hidden, buried deep, I think. The core recognizes it. Ray frowned. You think I'm connected to that thing? Maybe not you, she said, but something inside you. Ray hesitated, then stepped toward the orb. Its light grew warmer, almost welcoming. He placed his hand on the glass, and the pulses changed. The timer paused, then started again, but slower. Vera gasped. You just bought us 15 more minutes. Ray turned to her, shocked. I didn't do anything, no. She said, You just existed, and it listened. The ship's alarm blared again. More enemy ships approaching, fast. We don't have time, she said. We need to shut it down completely. No delays, no guesses. Ray looked back at the orb. What if I try again? He asked. Not just touch it, connect to it. It could kill you, Vera said sharply. Your brain might burn. Ray looked her in the eye. But if I don't, Earth dies anyway. Vera stared at him. There was no fear in his face, only fire. Only a human standing against an empire. And somehow, becoming more than human. All right, she said softly. I'll guide you. They sat on either side of the cube. Vera placed a hand on one side, Ray on the other. Close your eyes, she said. Think about your world, your people, your memories, your chaos, your kindness. Ray breathed slowly. His mind drifted to his childhood, his mother's voice, his father's laugh, the smell of books. The sound of traffic, the stars at night. He felt the pulse of humanity loud, messy, full of life, and then he felt something else. The orb was listening, and it whispered back. Images flashed in his mind. Alien wars, destroyed planets, voices. Speaking a language he had never learned but somehow understood. He felt a presence, an intelligence inside the core, asking, Are you the Guardian? Ray didn't answer with words. He only showed it his world raw. Real, alive. The orb flashed once, then twice. 8. And the countdown stopped. Silence again. Then Vera opened her eyes. You did it, she said, barely believing it. Ray opened his eyes too, sweating, shaking, but I saw something, he whispered. Something coming. Vera frowned. What did you see? Ray turned to her slowly. Not ships, not soldiers, he said, but a voice. It said, One human has passed the gate. Now the others will awaken, Vera. Stepped back. That's not possible, she whispered. That message hasn't been heard in 1,000 years? Ray looked at the orb. Its light had faded, but its memory had not. And now, something old had started to rise again inside him. Across Earth, the galaxy had noticed, and it was no longer watching. It was moving. Asterisk, the sky tore open, not with thunder, not with rain, but with ships. Black, silent, and endless, they came like shadows, blocking out the sun over every major city. People screamed, cars stopped, soldiers grabbed their rifles. News channels showed only one word: invasion. Ray stood at the edge of a cliff, looking down at Earth from orbit, Vera beside him. Her face pale under the glow of emergency lights. They're not waiting anymore, she said. They've come to erase the entire planet. Ray didn't blink. His eyes locked on the giant alien flagship floating over New York, massive like a mountain, deadly like a promise. Can Earth fight back? He asked. Vera shook her head. Your weapons can't touch them. Your satellites are already blind. The core trigger was only phase 1. Now, they want to finish it face to face. Ray turned away from the window. There has to be a way. There is, Vera said, but it's risky. It means using the signal inside you. Ray frowned. That strange voice, she nodded. When you connected with the orb, something old responded. That power, it wasn't from my people. It was from something before them. Ray stepped closer. You think I can stop their army? Not alone, she said, but you can lead your kind. And if others like you awaken, Earth won't just survive, it will fight back. The ship's alarm rang again. A hologram of Earth appeared, dread dots blinking across the planet, one for every city under attack. Too many, too fast. Vera placed a hand on Ray's chest. You're still human, she said. But part of you is something more. Let it speak. Let it guide you. Ray closed his eyes. In the silence he heard the voice again. You are the first spark. Light the others. He opened his eyes. They were glowing faintly. Send me to Earth, he said. I know where to begin. Vera looked at him one last time. She didn't say goodbye. She just activated the teleport beacon. A flash of blue light and Ray was gone. Earth, Cairo, Egypt soldiers stood behind. Barricades, their weapons useless. Above them, alien machines hovered, scanning, charging. Then something fell from the sky like a comet. It crashed into the street, smoke rising, people backing away from the crater. Ray stepped out, alive, calm, glowing. He looked at the alien ship and raised his hand. It paused, sensors flickering. Ray focused on something inside the ship glitched. Its weapons turned off. Lights dimmed, then it crashed. The crowd was silent. Then cheering, scene cut. A hidden military base, Alaska generals watched the event on screen. He disabled that warship with nothing, one said. No, another replied. With something we've never seen before, get me every human with strange brain activity, the lead general ordered. If there are more like him, I want them trained, now. Back in orbit, enemy flagship Han alien commander watched Ray's movements with growing fear. Possible, he said. No human should carry that frequency. Another officer turned to him. If more awaken like him, we lose then. Destroy him now, the commander hissed. Send the Reavers. Send everything. The stars were burning. The sky above Earth was full of war. Alien ships circled the planet like vultures, but the ground did not shake from fear. It trembled from hope. Ray stood at the center of a ruined city around him. Buildings were broken. Fires were rising, but still the people stood, humans from every corner of the world. Injured, awake, they had changed. Something ancient inside them had awakened. Not power from outside, but something human, raw will, unbreakable fire, the thing the galaxy never understood above them. The enemy flagship began to descend, a dark shadow over the city, and inside that ship, for his people waited for one final move. Suddenly, a voice echoed across the battlefield, not through sound, but through every mind. Vera of House Tethra, step forward, your time is over. Ray looked up. Vera floated down from the sky slowly, landing beside him. Her armor was damaged. Her energy low, but her eyes still held. Fire, they want me to surrender, she said, and if you do? Ray asked. They'll leave Earth, she replied, for now, but they'll return later with bigger weapons. More lies. Ray clenched his fists. There has to be another way. There is, she whispered, but it's not safe. A glowing disk formed in the air. A projection of the alien commander appeared. Cold eyes, sharp voice. Come home, Vera. This is your final choice. Vera stepped forward, then stopped. She looked at Ray. You never feared me. She said, even when I was your enemy. Ray smiled faintly. You were never my enemy, he said. You were just lost. She turned to the alien commander. I am not coming back, she said. I found something stronger than fear. Then you will die with the humans, the voice replied. Vera turned to Ray. There's one last thing I can do, she said. I can use my energy and your signal together. We can send a blast that will destroy their core network. Ray understood immediately. But it will kill you, he said. She nodded, and it might kill you too. Ray looked around at the people behind him, the skies above. Then he looked back at Vera, and slowly he reached for her hand. Then let's do it together, he said. They rose into the sky, hand in hand. Light began to swirl around them. Not just alien tech, but human strength, memory, pain, and love, all across the world. People felt the energy. They looked up, they reached out, and they answered. From the mountains to the oceans, from villages to megacities, a single message echoed across the minds of all awakened humans. We are still here. We choose to fight. Vera and Ray became a beam of pure light, a signal strong enough to shake the enemy fleet. The flagship trembled. Systems shut down. The alien network began to fall apart. Inside the command center, the leader screamed, "What is this power?" And the answer came, not in code, not in tech, but in one voice, Ray's. It's called humanity. With a final burst, the light exploded across the sky. The alien ships cracked, twisted, and vanished. One by one, they blinked out like dying stars. Silence fell. The battle was over. Ray opened his eyes slowly. He was lying on grass, real Earth grass, under real blue sky. He sat up, coughing, breathing, alive. People were cheering in the distance. But Vera was gone. Only her armor remained, glowing gently beside him. She had given everything. But she had also given Earth something else, time, and a story. Ray stood up slowly, holding her armor to his chest. He looked at the crowd of survivors. The new warriors, the awakened humans. This is not the end, he said. This is the beginning, because now the galaxy knew. Earth was not weak. Humans were. Not insects, they were a problem. They were a spark, and in the darkness of space, they had finally been heard.